Good morning, everyone. Welcome to American Scouser's morning coffee or tea with American Scouser, presented by our friends at Reckless Coffee Roasters. It's me again, John, at the captain's seat, taking over caretaker captain duties once again with Timucin out due to personal reasons. So, hey, it's Friday, guys, and you're going to tolerate my face just a little bit longer, but thankfully, I am with Kazi, the biggest Cody Gakpo stan in American Scouser. Kazi, how are you doing, my friend?
Good, brother, yeah. I think it's time we might be able to get a permanent captain change soon. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's getting to that
Hey, let's not.
Do you know what I mean?
Let's quiet down on that. Anon and I were talking about a kind of a silent coup d'etat over here at American Scouser last week in terms of taking over the old guard. But you know, the less said about that, the better. But yeah, I appreciate the shout. At least I know I always got Kazi behind me, people. Like whenever I host the show, he's always here. So I know I got Kazi behind my back.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Serzi says, good morning, gents. Good morning, Serzi. Good to see you again. And Alan as well. Good morning, Alan. Captain Reckless, maybe I can run with that. That's actually a good that's actually a good one there. And Gordon's here, 1/3 of the Wednesday crew. Good morning. And happy to know I survived the banana yeah. For context, the Wednesday podcast, we were talking about banana turkey sandwiches, and the less going into that, the better. Yeah.
Ryan really on the West Coast for that shit.
Right. Ryan says, good morning, boys. So, Kazi, kind of a routine win yesterday. For once, it went down as we expected with a 4-0. I think you said 4-0. Yeah, 4-0 for the prediction. So let's kind of go into the match ratings here, courtesy of Foot Mob. Anyone stand out? I feel like I know the answer to this. I feel like I really do, and it's a shame that Anon isn't here because this would have been an epic discourse between certain Captain Chaos and Cody Gakpo over here. But yeah, Kazi, anyone stand out? Even though I know the answer.
Anon's bottled it as usual. You know what I mean? Like, where is he? Where is he to defend his man's honour?
Right.
You know what I mean? He's nowhere to be seen. He's meant to be here. He's not here. But we'll leave Cody for a second because I'm sure Anan might go.
Right.
But I think, I don't really go much off these ratings. I like to judge by the eye. And, I thought actually Kwanzaa had a good game again, really. I thought everyone kind of impressed. From the first 20 minutes, the lads were on it. I think they kind of felt themselves like they let themselves down, basically, in Toulouse, especially with the start. They kind of let themselves down, and I think they kind of knew how much of a big game it was in terms of qualifying. And the manager probably went, "Hey lads, I really do not fancy playing the last 32 game." And in the manager's post-match interview, he actually mentioned that, like, it's massive for us. It's also bigger as well now because we have confirmed that we are top of the group.
Yeah.
Which means the Union game we can rest players, and I think that game is 3 days before we play United.
Yeah.
So that is ginormous for the manager. It's ginormous for Liverpool. So super pleased, mate. Again, I thought everyone played well in the game. I thought everyone had good moments. As much as I think the lads fancied that they could get goals. I think the lads fancied it. Salah wanted to get a goal. I'm glad he got his goal. And, it was one of them games where if you're the striker, you don't really want to be taken off. Because you're like, this is a chance to get some goals. But I do want a special shout out to Endo. Thought he was excellent. And I thought we were signing a player that he has turned out not to be. I thought we were signing like a bit of a destroyer player, win the ball back, give it to the better players. I think he's one of the most, up there with Gravenberch, most comfortable players on the half turn from receiving the ball on the half turn. He's very good at getting the ball and finding the right pass. I thought he was excellent. Showing me something that I hadn't really seen before. Last night, of course, we're playing LASK, and he can probably get his foot on the ball a bit more. But on the half turn, he's as good as anyone at the team. So yeah, super pleased for him, mate. Super happy with the result. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And speaking of destroyer roles, let me bring on
spoiler.
Let me
Joker in the back.
Let me bring on 2/3 of the Friday crew. Anon, how's it going, my friend? We've been waiting for you.
The Bruce Wayne to the Joker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is going on, guys?
No, did you catch the game yesterday?
I did not. Darwin didn't start, so I don't fuck with that.
Came in after 20 minutes, was put in a decent shift, but it's great that we have you here because, Kazi, it's a great segue to, obviously, you got Cody Gakpo as your man of the match, right? If I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. And also, before we move on to that, apparently it's Alan's birthday, according to Just Squared. So happy birthday, Alan.
Happy birthday, Alan. Happy birthday.
Yeah, appreciate you always tuning in, man. So, yeah, Kazi, man of the match, Cody Gakpo for sure, yes?
Yes. I don't think it's close. Thought he was excellent. Absolutely excellent. And I'm not just saying that as a wind up for the man, but he was brilliant. Very good. He won the penalty as well. Again, we know how good he is. I don't think anyone's doubting each other players' quality in Darwin or whatever that is. I just think he's next level. His finish is a joke. The last finish for the fourth goal is a joke. It's an unbelievable finish and it's a great touch and movement. So super pleased for him, mate. And when you play him in this position where he's naturally got to play, not centre mid, which he has been playing, then we're going to see stuff like that. This is not a surprise. We've seen it at the end of last season when he was playing up front for us. And Liverpool have lost 2 in 29 now, or 2 in 30, I think we've lost now. So he's a super, super talented player, mate. Really good.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and segue to you, and I know you didn't see the game, but Cody Gakpo, 2 goals, arguably the best attacker on the field. I know you're going to say he doesn't displace your boy Nunez, but he's probably knocking on the door, isn't he? Nunez has been a little bit, he's been good, but he hasn't been as prolific as he's been maybe a month ago.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. I'm pretty fair, even though I try to make it seem like I'm not for the laugh. But I saw the highlights, right? I saw the way Gakpo played. The second goal, the way he cut in, the way he gets the ball and he cuts in and goes inside, just gave me the weirdest prime freaking Robin vibes I've ever seen. The way he cut in, I was like, whoa. So yeah, Gakpo's been playing well. And listen, if he's playing well and he's scoring goals, I want him on the pitch. I want the guy scoring the goals on the pitch. I know Nunez is the greatest ever, and that's not a debate. I mean, but if Cody's the one scoring goals, I want Cody on the pitch. I want whoever's getting those goals on the pitch. So for me, Gakpo has to be with the display that he had, Gakpo has to be on the pitch. We cannot like I said, when Nunez scores, I'm like, he needs to keep playing because we need him to continue to score. But if you're not scoring and the other guy is, I want the guy scoring goals on the pitch.
Sir Z on the wind-up here, calling it now Gomez scoring before Nunez scores again. So, I mean, I know you're being humble here, but I think Sir Z's taking it a little bit too far.
When we're saying that, this is the thing about Nunez, because this is what I don't get when people saying it now. When he's in form, you got to play him. So he scored 2 goals in the league in 10 games. Is that good enough? Is that genuinely? Is that good for Liverpool? He scored 2 goals in the league.
5 assists, right?
Sorry, but he scored 2 in 10. He's a striker.
And 5 assists.
You can't. Now we talk 3 assists with Salah next to me.
Yeah, but with 5 assists, I mean, listen, if I'm Darwin and I got 5 assists in 4 games in back to back,
he scored 2 in 10.
Yeah, but see, take away Nunez and Salah is just a prime Emil Heskey,
Is that what it is? Yeah.
How big a factor, and this is for anyone to answer, right? How big a factor do you think the Nunez Salah connection plays in terms of club selection? Because obviously Nunez assisting anyone else but Salah, right? Every assist that he's got is towards Salah. So maybe that plays a part into the manager's selection, don't you guys think?
So obviously, I'm sure you guys saw the graphic that Nunez Salah is the highest scoring and highest chance creating partnership in the league. But if Cody's the one scoring goals, dude, I don't give a shit how many assists he's got. If Cody's the one scoring goals, I want the guy scoring goals.
All right, and I'm gonna do you one further. Are you starting Cody against Fulham?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would want him to carry on what he was doing on Thursday. I would want him to continue. He's in great form for club and country. So why take that away? Keep him going. Yeah, I'd definitely start Cody against Fulham.
Kazi, where do you see Gakpo's best role? Because he kind of works well on the left, cutting in with that absolute magic of a right foot. I've never seen, it's been a while since I've seen a guy who strikes the ball as well as he does. When he strikes it, that second goal, you just knew it was top bins. No question at all. And Ryan kind of alludes to it here. He's a complete striker. Nunez has a lot of work to do. Yeah, sure. But then, not taking away from Nunez, your Gakpo has kind of the traits of more of a Bobby-ish in that false 9. But at the same time, he can play well on the left. So maybe where do you see him best, Kazi, long term?
He's got to be number 9, hasn't he? He's got to be a striker. He is a striker. It just is what it is. He is a striker. He's 6'4". He's surprisingly big, and he is strong and he's quick. Like, he's got all the traits that you want in a striker, as well as better finishing than the other lad. So it's, I can't even have a debate anymore about who would you rather start. I don't even think I can even entertain the debate. I think it's so clearly that the lad who has to play up front, which is Cody. Like, again, he's been playing centre mid for us. And by the way, he was excellent against Brentford when he played basically a full 90 at home, and he was excellent in that role. And he came off the bench against City last week. I thought he was really good again. So, yeah, you got to do Gakpo as a 9 or something, surely. And again, his finishing proves that he probably is a 9 more than the other lad. So, it's, for me, I think, it is Cody as a centre. But it's nice for the manager to have options. He's got Jota out now. So basically, you probably argue we have one left-sided player, which is Diaz, who's kind of in and out of form. He got a goal yesterday, which could help him massively to again kick on. So, you might see more games from Cody on the left. But, yeah, for me, it's he's definitely a centre-forward.
Football flashback is here. Hey, boys. And again, as usual, betting last night, winning £10 on Kwanzaa to keep a clean sheet. Ooh, that was a very, very hard-earned clean sheet, though. We certainly didn't make it good for our goalie, Kelleher, which I think is a good segue in terms of what I wanted to talk about. Caoimhín Kelleher, pretty good performance last night. Pretty assured. Sometimes I felt our defense let him down, Kazi. So obviously this is a good start for him, considering, we got 5-6 games with him, back there with Alisson out.
Yes, mate. Yeah, I thought he was really good again. Some good saves there. Listen, he's barely played. I do get that. I know last year, he has been out of form, but you can only save the shots that are coming at you, kind of deal. And I feel it'll be interesting this weekend because he's going to have the big lads in front of him, with Virgil, and let's just say Mata probably starts in front of him, which is going to be a massive help for him. The last 20, mate, I know what you're saying, because LASK had some chances, but I think Liverpool fancied more goals. I think Liverpool wanted to win 6-7-0 because they fancied it. Because I think they knew there was no threat. There was no threat. If LASK could have scored one, the game would have finished 3-1. Liverpool would just call it quits there. But I think everyone kind of got excited, thinking we could all grab a goal here, Elliot and grab him. But they can all probably thought we could get a goal here. So that's why I think LASK created chances. I think because Liverpool let them create chances. But again, really good performance from them. The next 2 league games are favourable, let's say, without, Palace away will be tricky on a Saturday for him, on a Saturday morning. It'll be tricky if Alisson is back by then, potentially. So it's a good time, in a weird way, for Alisson to be injured. If it's only a few games, it's not a horrific time. But, yeah, super pleased for him, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Anon, obviously, Kelleher, not the same as Alisson. There's a certain level that drops in terms of confidence. Like, I believe Sergi and I were talking about it yesterday at the pre-match, knowing that, it's different when Alisson is behind you compared to maybe someone who's like a mere mortal, like Caoimhín Kelleher, who's not a demigod in goalkeeping. But obviously, we've probably been a little bit too harsh for him this year. And this clean sheet kind of comes in terms of coming in much needed for him. So, maybe this might be the start of maybe him sort of establishing himself in the side at the back. Maybe? What do you think?
Definitely yesterday was a morale boost. Definitely something good for him to have that clean sheet and carry it over to the league when he gets over there. But it's when Alisson is right behind you, it's a completely different ballgame when he isn't. But also that gives those defenders, the Matips and the Van Dijks, a feeling of a bigger responsibility now to make sure they're protecting the guy more. That give them takes away that confidence of Alisson is behind us, but we'll give them that. You know what? Alisson is not behind us, so we got to take care of business a little more. Just be a little more into it. So I don't think it's going to hurt us. I'm glad the kid's going to play. I'm glad he's going to get a run of games, because I did see this year a lot of fans talking about how he's not the same, how he's this, how he's that. So this could be something good for him. This could be what, kickstarts his season and gets him going. And listen, last time Alisson was out with a hamstring injury, we won the league. So who knows how that goes?
Yeah. If we're talking about omens, that's certainly a decent one there. Alisson misses a decent amount of time. We go and win the league. So, hey, if we're talking about pure omens, I'll take it. Ryan here makes a good point. Luis Diaz, we've kind of given him stick here in the show, talking about how poor he was playing until his parents were kidnapped. Yes. Although I do think the issues stem far further than before his parents were kidnapped. And I know, Kazi, you're a big proponent as to why Diaz has been a bit hit and miss since he kind of established that left wing position. Last night, though, way better, don't you think, in terms of being more decisive and just being there to score the goal?
Yes, mate. Yeah, massively. You know, I was actually on his back before that. I don't think he's come back from his injury the same player. I think his injury's kind of been a longer one that we expected. I think didn't he have a setback? I think with his injury as well at one point.
Yep.
I think he was close and he had a setback in training. So maybe it is a little bit of that, but I don't think he was the same player when he first came in. I think people forget that we started the Champions League final with Mane down the middle because Diaz was basically coming into the left wing spot off him. You know what I mean? Which is insane. So yes, that's how good he was on a level. But yeah, much better last night, mate. The more he plays games, of course, the more he's going to hopefully get better. Great goal, great finish. It's a tough little header that is to, you know, get off. And it also looks like the player in front of him could have headed the ball first, and it's kind of low down for him. So, you know, it's a busy Christmas period. Liverpool got trophies to win. I said it last night on the pre-match. Liverpool have a league title to win. Liverpool are banging a league title race, whether we like it or not, whether we were prepared for this or not. Liverpool in a title race. We have the cup quarter final in a couple of weeks, which is massive for Liverpool. It's ginormous because we are probably the best team left in it. You know what I mean? Like, we are, in my opinion, the best team left in it. Liverpool should win the League Cup. Even if I don't care who you draw in the semi-final, we should still win the League Cup. So, yeah, I'm super pleased, mate. Super pleased for him. And we're going to need him massively now with Jota. Like, there's going to be no rest for the wicked. Darwin, clearly the manager doesn't like doing Darwin on the left-hand side as much as we think he might be good there. He doesn't like doing it. He doesn't really like doing Gakpo on the left-hand side, so he's going to be playing a lot of games, unless we are going to see a few surprises. So, yeah, super pleased for him.
Yeah. Speaking of surprises, that's actually a great segue. So Mo Salah scored his 199th last night. Probably going to get his 200th sooner than later. So Anan, obviously, he's going to be we've talked about this a little bit in the last show. He's going to be a massive miss come AFCON. And I remember you were scrolling through the schedule, seeing how, in terms of the games that we're going to be playing during that period, is no easy walk in the park either. So internally, like, in your opinion, how do we sort out the Salah problem, the lack of Salah, rather? Like, do we try and... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
To be honest, do you sort out the lack of Salah? You just take a hit on that. No matter what you do, you just take the hit on that. And he's likely to miss Arsenal, Chelsea, and I think if it was Brentford or maybe Bournemouth, I don't remember.
The League Cup semi-final as well, 2 legs.
Yeah. So you're not really, you can't sort it out. You got to take a hit and you got to play without him. And I know this is going to be one of those games where we're going to see a front three of maybe Gakpo, Nunez, Diaz, or Gakpo, you know, one of those where you're just going to throw your cards and say, screw it, let's hope somebody does the job. We're going to feel he's missing. We're going to know he's missing. His work rate, his goals, his assist, everything's going to be missing. But the question is, what do we do from there? Do we just stop and say, well, fuck it? Or do we do what we did against Barcelona when we needed that comeback where everybody had to everybody put in a double shift to make up for what Salah does? And I think that's what's going to happen. Yes, we're going to miss him. We'll be okay. This is where what I'm trying to get to is we'll be okay. But when you look, you'll be like, yeah, Salah is definitely missing.
Yeah. Kazi, it's just surprising, isn't it? Like, we have a really good selection of attackers, but no direct replacement for Salah. No one there as a pure right winger. So maybe how do you think Klopp does it? Does he change the system a little bit? I know that's sort of blasphemous, right? Because he never does, right? Or do we play, like, let's say, a Cody Gakpo as a right winger, or maybe if Diogo is back, we play him as a right wing, although I never liked him there.
No.
So how do you think it goes, maybe?
I don't know, mate. It's tough. I'm trying to think last time, because when he went away last time, I think he missed 6 games. Liverpool won 5, drew 1. And that was including the cup semi-final against Arsenal. We drew 0-0 at home and beat them 2-0. Jota got both in the League Cups. No, Firmino got the second. 2-0, wasn't it, away at the Emirates in the League Cup semi. Yeah. And that was that year he went away. People forget that. We nearly won all 4. We missed Salah for like 6 weeks. Like 5 weeks. It was insane. But so I'm trying to think what he did there. I can't fully remember. But don't be surprised if you don't see Harvey Elliott there in a game or two. Because he has tried it a couple of times for minutes in games. He has looked at it, because he likes a left footer on that side. So don't be surprised if you do see that in certain games. I'm not saying against Arsenal or, you know, what them kind of games, maybe the Brentford at home or whatever that is. And Brentford away, and depending on who you get in the League Cup. I think if you actually look at the League Cup draw, there's 2 Championship sides playing each other in the quarterfinals. I think, or a League One side and a Championship side are playing each other. If I remember correctly, it's like Middlesbrough versus Port Vale or something. So if you get them in the semi, one of them, you wouldn't mind seeing Elliott on the right-hand side for the 2 games, home and away. So that might get him out of jail as well. But mate, you don't replace Mo Salah. No one does. And the argument is for the fans out there, oh yeah, maybe, why didn't you get a replacement in? How the fuck do you convince a replacement to sit on the bench? A right-hand side player? What do you say to him? Oh yeah, by the way, you might get a minute or 2. Because Mo Salah plays every game. He's never injured. He's always fit. He doesn't get suspended. He's just, you know what I mean? He's just a freak of nature. He gets goals every week. He has to play. It is what it is. So it's very difficult to replace a Mo Salah anyway in that way. Where on the other side, you can go, you will get minutes because I do like to change and I do like to mix it up with Darwin and Cody and Jota gets, you know what I mean? But there's always one thing that's been guaranteed for 6 years. Mo Salah plays on the right-hand side.
Absolutely.
And he's earned that, by the way. He's earned that.
Absolutely. And if there's one thing that people kind of overlook in terms of Salah's greatness, it's just durability. Like, the guy barely misses a game. The game that he missed, I think, was because he went to his brother's wedding, I think, and he got COVID.
COVID, yeah.
Right. That's absolutely crazy. That in terms of just being available.
He's missed 6 games in 6 years, I think.
Right. Like, you never...
It's insane.
Yes.
It's insane.
So, Sergi says here, wrong one. Diaz on the right, Anon. How do you feel about that? Obviously, he likes cutting in to his favorite right foot, but maybe that speed factor, maybe him being a threat there, kind of like how Mane played at the right wing, early in his Liverpool career.
Season.
Maybe, first season might be a good option for us, or maybe we go with, as Kazi said, Elliott, Ben Doak, or even Szoboszlai at the right. Although I think that's more of a break glass in case of emergency kind of deals.
I feel like we're likely to see Sobo on the right before we see Diaz on the right.
Really?
I think so. Just the way that Diaz plays makes sense for him to be on that left wing. You put him on the right wing, and now he's, a lot of his game is just memory, memory touch. He gets the ball right away. He turns in a certain way. That's because that he plays on the left. Put him on the right, and now everything is confused in his body, and he's trying to do it in a different way, and he's going to lose the ball a lot. Is it something Jurgen might try? Yeah, probably. He's going to figure out the right combination to make up for Mo's absence. But I think we'll see Szoboszlai on the right before we see Diaz on the right.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a bridge that we're going to cross once we get there. But
can play on the right.
We're going to get there now. We're going to get there. I saw that.
Mate, I think he's the... By the way, I wanted to mention this because you mentioned Salah before about his durability. The best ability in any footballer can have is availability.
Yeah.
He can be the greatest player in the world. Richie, by the way, he's one of the best midfielders in the world, but he's not fit. And so that's, what I mean? I think he's Liverpool's most talented midfielder. And I think Liverpool will be winning games a lot more comfortably if Thiago is fit. But the biggest, again, comes down to it. The biggest ability in football and availability.
We're gonna get there because I saw this funny tweet that I felt like I just had to include. It's a good thing Timucin is not here because there's no way we're gonna be talking about this if he was gonna be hosting. But before we get there though, you kind of touched on it, Kazi. Endo, most recoveries for LFC 11. He also completed the second most passes on the pitch for Liverpool, which was 52, and as you mentioned, created the second most chances, which is 3. So obviously we kind of got Endo to the team, Kazi, in terms of like we always saw him as kind of like that Fabinho kind of player too, in terms of disrupting the play, winning the duels, getting the 50-50 balls. But there is this thing with him where he seems more comfortable with the ball than without the ball, which is honestly surprising.
Yes, I didn't think we were getting this kind of player based on his performance last night. I think he is, I mentioned earlier on, probably one of the second best player getting the ball on the half turn from the defenders, and I think number 1's Gravenberch, because I think he's great on the half turn, and then his pace. He has that little Thiago touch where Thiago like fakes to go one way, then goes the other and just takes the midfielder out. It's a bit like that Gravenberch kind of does it as well a little bit, but he has a little more pace. He was doing that a lot last night. He surprised me. He's actually, by the way, another player that we're going to lose in January to the Asia Oceania Cup, by the way. You know what I mean? So he's another one that we're going to lose. But he's starting to be integral. I thought he was actually quite good when at City. I loved his booking. Loved that kind of booking me. Oh, what a booking. What a yellow card to take in the City game, which he did. Do you know what I mean? And everyone goes, because he was late to the ball, it wasn't Kakpo kicked ball away in midfield and he just had to do what he had to do. Do you know what I mean? And I thought we were signing that type of player, but he's not. I think he is matured into this team now, where he feels confident to get on the ball. I mentioned that again on the pre-match yesterday. You could tell he played for the bottom 10 club in the league, where they get 30% possession most games, and he has to get rid of the ball quickly because they got to hit on the counter like that to score and stuff. You're playing for Liverpool now. You get 70% of the ball most games. You know what I mean? You have got time on the ball, and you can pick a pass, and so he's growing into the role. He really is growing into it. I'd start him on the weekend. I really would. I'd go for him on the weekend. I think Alexis also, but I'll probably do with the rest anyway. And these 2 next league games are kind of favourable. Let's just say, you know what I mean? Sheffield United, they're just, on Wednesday, I've just been battered against Bournemouth at home. Do you know what I mean? So I expect Liverpool to win. So maybe this is a couple of league games that you might see him in, and I might see him finally get his starts.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, in terms of being a true 6, he's our only true 6. So in terms of him being around, it kind of gives the license to the likes of the Szoboszlais, the Gravenberches, even Alexis, if he plays alongside him as an 8, to maybe move forward a little bit. So, I guess my question is, Endo has been great, like more often than not when he started. So maybe what would it take for him to maybe consider, like, obviously, Kazi, you said that you wanted him to start against Fulham, but I think with the fact that McAllister didn't play a single minute, against LASK, against that, he's probably going to start. But again, Anand, what do you think Endo has to do? Right?
Because people need to stop thinking about his price tag, and people need to stop thinking about the reason we bought him. If people put all that aside, they're going to look at him differently, because everybody's like, yeah, I mean, he's not, he's just a 1-season player. Oh, we just got him to kind of fill in a gap for now. If people put that thinking away and let the guy play and view him as a holding midfielder we bought because we need a holding midfielder versus a holding midfielder we bought because we were like, holy shit, we need somebody right now, it's going to be completely different. And against Fulham, why not start him and McAllister and Szoboszlai? I have been trying to lobby for that all season long. Let the guy play the 6, let McAllister take his free role, and let Szoboszlai play with a little more freedom, knowing there's a true number 6 behind him. Let's try that. We haven't tried that yet. Let's give it a shot, see how it goes. If not against Fulham, like he said, against Sheffield. But we have to see how that looks. We need to know, can this guy presume the number 6 role and let McAllister take his more free open field role? Because after every game, oh, I thought McAllister was bad. Oh, I don't think McAllister did what we're signing him to do. Yeah, because he's not a holding midfielder. He is not a 6. Watch the way he plays for Argentina. Just look at the freedom he has. Look how often he's on the ball. And then he plays for us, and all he has to worry about is, okay, I made the pass. Now I need to make sure I go back so we don't lose the ball. Oh, my God, now I got to make a stupid tackle to win the ball. That tackle Endo made against City, like Kazi said, that's what your number 6 does. That's that thinking that a number 6 has. He's like, you know what? I'm about to sacrifice myself. I'm going to get a yellow. I'll do it right. I'll stop the counterattack. We move on. This is what we need. So I would start him. I would start Szoboszlai. I would start McAllister. If that doesn't work, now we've got the switches. We've got the Gravenberch. We've got, Elliott. We've got other guys that can take the roles. But until then, our 3 new midfielders need to start so we can see if this is going to work out or not.
Yeah, absolutely. But
it's difficult though. I want to just jump in on that because it's a great point. But then the manager will just go, well, we've lost 2 in 30. And the 2 we've lost is Toulouse away, which we should have drew. That was a bad VAR decision. We were absolutely garbage and still scored 3. And Spurs, which we all know what happened.
Yeah.
So that's the manager's argument. As much as I agree with you, by the way, and I think Endo, I'd like to see him in the 6 and the proper number 6. The argument that we'll always have is that McAllister's not a 6, and the manager go, yeah, but we win football matches.
Yeah, and he's got the highest recovery rate in the league.
and it counteracts everything. And it counteracts everything. Literally, opinion to do with football, as long as you win football matches. Doesn't matter how you win them. So that's the balance that we've got to think as fans. Clearly, the manager's going, I know it's not perfect with McAllister there, but as you just said, he had the most recoveries in the league. And I really like him getting the ball off Virgil van Dijk and carrying it 15, 20 yards in the midfield for me. I really like him doing that as well. So, as much as it's a balance, guys, we've got to think like that as well. How does the manager think? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that segues me into this next thing that I noticed. I was watching the Thursday night show here, and 12 minutes in, I looked at the league table again. And I'm like, hold on, we're in the league. We're in a title race. In the League Cup, we're in the race. In the Europa League, not that it matters, we're favorites to win the group. But I was listening in, I'm like, like Szoboszlai is horrible. He needs to, and then
It's
McAllister
insane.
is absolute garbage. And I'm
It's
like,
insane.
what? So I wrote a comment like, guys, we're doing okay. Results don't matter. We're playing so bad. I'm like, what?
Results is everything.
Great.
But by the way, when we were going for the quad, towards the end of the fucking season, mate, we were garbage half the time, but we were winning games.
Right.
I mean,
Fabinho couldn't run anymore. That's why Real Madrid beat us, because they had a little bit more energy, and we were still the better team.
yeah,
So I agree with you, man. I hate the negativity sometimes.
Yeah, winning the 1-0s and the 2-1s is the most beautiful type of winning.
Fucking
for me.
great.
I love
Great.
it. Like I like the stress, right? But like the way, and this isn't like coming at anybody, but like I think Szoboszlai's been one of our best players. But then
I think
when
he's been poor the last month, but
yeah,
still,
100%.
we're still winning
overall-
games. He's still contributing.
Compare our midfield last year to this year. Compare our league
Yeah.
position last year to this year. Compare the confidence on the pitch last year to
Yeah.
this year. You're like, this team can actually win trophies this year. And then I was watching, and Thursday, I went into depression. I'm like, oh my God, we're getting relegated. And then I opened the table. I'm like, no, we're not getting relegated. We're winning the
We're not
league.
Everton, but we're not Everton. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And there has to be a lot more positivity around the side. This team, by the way, this season, are fucking like 2 years ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
We all
I was
thought
about
we'd
to
be in
go
this
into that.
position.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We're ahead of schedule. This team is clicking. Van Dijk looks like the best defender in the league again. We have the best keeper in the league. Do you know what I'm saying? We have the best right winger in the league. It's not even a conversation. It's insane, some of the negativity,
And
man.
the game we lost in the league, we didn't lose.
I know.
I say that every time somebody's like, "Oh, you lost
Mate.
to Spurs." Like, we didn't lose. we
Mate,
were
and
done.
by the way, that Spurs team with Postecoglou, the greatest thing since sliced bread, have lost the last 3.
Yeah.
So let's just relax a second. Do you know what I mean? Because I was getting told that he was the fucking second coming of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fucking 6 weeks ago by Postecoglou. So let's just get that out the way for the start. Right? This team is unbelievable. This team is a really, really good football team. Yes, we're getting over the line in games, and that's fine. Let's get it clicking, because these are still getting to know each other.
Yeah.
But why go within a title race? City don't look like the same team. In my opinion, they don't look like the same team.
At all.
Arsenal can't score goals. They might be top of the league, but they don't score a lot. Liverpool have, in my opinion, the best front 5 in the league, or like as a collective. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's give them some props, man. As much as they're not playing well, and McAllister's struggling, Szoboszlai struggling a little bit. Curtis Jones looks like a great player. He had a bad game against City, fair enough, but he looks unbelievable and a wonderful option for Liverpool now. Matip looks like a player reborn. One sec, John, because I'm on my soapbox now. Matip looks like a player reborn.
Yeah.
If you would have said to me 8 weeks ago, what you do with Matip? Let him go on a fee. You're a legend. See you later. I want to give him a 2-year deal. I want to give him a 2-year deal. You look unbelievable. You look back to your best. Let's get behind them. Let's go at it, man. We're playing West Ham at home in a quarter final. In a competition we should win. We might be going back to Wembley in February. Like, what is the doom and gloom? Let's get behind the boys. But anyway, go on, Joe.
Yeah. That's actually great. Like, in terms of like, if Timucin is watching, he's gonna be like, "Oh, damn, the positive boys took over the stream, and there's not 1 ounce of negativity here."
Baby.
Absolutely. Sparky puts it great here. Good teams play bad, but still win games. Absolutely. And Kazi, you kind of touched onto that. We're just in the first leg of a rebuild, and we're doing so great. Like, it's just really
unbelievable.
Yeah,
we sat down here in the summer and said, this year we're going to try this new midfield, so next year we can know what we need.
Yeah.
We don't need to try shit. We started the season amazing. Yeah. We're in the top of the league. We're in top of our group in Europe. We're in a quarterfinal in the cup. I mean, everything we said wasn't going to happen this year is happening this year. And then we're like, but Szoboszlai had a bad month. Yeah, our midfield had a bad 2 years.
I know. They couldn't run last year. Our midfield, they couldn't run. And now at least we've got a bit of energy in it. But it's the deepest squad we've had. It's the deepest squad.
Everybody talks about how great the City team is the last few years. How many 1-0s did they scrape left and right to win their league titles?
Yeah. Right. Honestly, I look at the company goal, for example, Leicester at home and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just getting these mad wins and these, like, that's what you do. It's just, it's frustrating. It's really, it's good that we bring it up, to be honest. Top 5, by the way, this year gets you Champions League. Fifth will probably get you Champions League this year.
That's already a thing.
It's going to be by, do you reckon January, February, it's going to get confirmed, but the Premier League are favourites to get that spot. That fifth will get Champions League. And by the way, you can also win the Europa League and get Champions League. And we would have all took, by the way. I would have took, if you would have said to me at the start, I'll take 5th in the Europa League, so I know we will guarantee the Champions League, I would have took it. I genuinely would have took it. We all would have took it. get back in the Champions League and go from there and have a chance to win the Super Cup. That was all my thing. Now we're actually looking going, I'm not taking fifth this year. I am not taking fifth. I want to be in a title race by April. If we lose it in April, fair enough, I can swallow it. But I want to be in it by April.
Yeah.
So let's get behind the boys, man.
Yeah, that's probably the bare minimum. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
What separates great teams versus okay teams is how many shitty games they have and win.
Yeah.
You know, when you go out there and you're scraping to get 1-0s and 2-1s, that's a team that can win a title because they're going till the end. They're pushing for it. If you're winning every game 4-0, 5-0, all credit to you. But when was the last time we saw that? When was the last time we saw a team dominate from start to finish? Even when City were winning the league, that company goal, like he said, that doesn't go in, they don't win the league.
Yeah.
You know, the Aguero goal, that doesn't go in, they don't win the league. We had so many options where the great teams have to scrape 1-0s and 2-1s and have to win on bad performances where their fans are like, oh my God. So we have a month where our midfield is still winning games, but they're not putting the 10 out of 10 shift. We can't just turn on them and say, oh my God, nope, that's just not it. No, get behind them.
Same kind of deal with us. Yeah, same kind of deal with us when Mane scored that winner against Villa a few years ago.
Against Villa's a great point. Yeah. It's a great point. There was a lot of games that year, by the way, where we won 2-1 and stuff like that and 1-0. There was quite a few. I know we got to Norwich away and won 2-1 late on in like February time. I remember stuff like that. I just checked then. Liverpool got the second best defence in the league.
Yeah. Yeah. When was the last time we said that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Probably since when we won the league.
When we won the league. Like, we got the second best defence in the league. Only by 1 goal. Arsenal have conceded 10. Liverpool have conceded 11. City have lost 2 games. We've lost 1. And the game we lost, we shouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
Like, what are we, you know what I'm saying? Like, they went to Wolves and lost. Liverpool went to Wolves and won. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's relax. Let's put it all into context. Liverpool are a really good football team. Yes, it's not perfect. That's what I keep saying this. I said on the pre-match. We know we need a number 6. We wouldn't have paid 110 million for Moses Caicedo if the club didn't think we needed a number 6. The club are very shrewd in buying footballers. They bid 110 million on one of them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? To hold a position. They know they need this position to get it. But right now, Liverpool are getting over the line and games are still winning football. Let's enjoy it. Yeah. As much as like my thoughts on Darwin Núñez, which we can get into. He looks like he's having a lovely time. He looks like he's having a lovely time playing for Liverpool. You know what I mean? It looks like the lads are loving it. So let's just kick on, man. Yeah. We've got a really big period coming up now with big footy matches. Liverpool can put the foot on the gas. I think City have got a couple of tough games coming up. I think they've got Spurs
this weekend, yeah.
They go to Villa on Wednesday. And Villa are unbeaten at home. I think they've won every game at home this season or close to it. Villa, that's a tough Wednesday night game for them. Liverpool could be top of the league on Wednesday. They're comfortably top of the league. So let's fucking get behind the boys, man. Some positivity.
Cersei kind of dampening our positivity here with Sobel being great until I wrote about him, and thanks for bringing that up, Cersei. And now since then, I've been kind of, you know, like I said yesterday, I said a no context 2-0 win because I didn't want to jinx anyone or anything yesterday. But yeah, to your point, Anon, I said you said you love the stress, but I love a good 4-0 just to.
Don't we all want the 4-0s and 5-0s? But sometimes you're gonna have to take the 1-0s and 2-1s and be extremely stressed and happy because those are the games that give you hope. Those are the games where like, listen, we didn't deserve to win, but holy shit, we got the win. Those are the games where like we're gonna win the league. And those are the ones I like. Listen, I enjoy me a 4-0 and Darwin scoring 7. I love that, but it's not always gonna happen. And great football teams struggle at times because they're human beings.
Yes.
But we can't be like, oh my God, we won 3-0 instead of 5. We are garbage. You know?
We've been spoiled. I say this all the time when we won the title. It's kind of blinded people's judgment on football. Football teams do not win 27 of the first 28 games like we did. Yeah. That doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Even in FIFA on Legendary Boys, it doesn't happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane what we did. But these are human beings who are playing at an outstanding level, a level that will never be reached again. I say it all the time. I will take my Premier League winning Liverpool team over any other team who's won the league. You do not win 27 out the first 28 games. It's fucking insane. So these lads are human beings, and they are unbelievable. You got Szoboszlai walking around in a dressing gown and the fucking training thing. You know what I mean? These lads look like they're having a lovely time with each other. Yeah. They look like like for the first time, it's actually given me a bit of hope in watching footy. After the, I don't know about you guys. This is just me personally. After the Paris, when we lost in Paris, we lost the league. When Villa were 2-0 up and we lost in Paris, I just couldn't get going. I genuinely, the year after, I just wasn't asked. I was into it, but I just wasn't asked. I didn't know that we were garbage either, but I just didn't care. And I was like, because it hurt me that much, really. This season, I've got like I'm rejuvenated again to go again. Like these players are, by the way. Like Van Dijk is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he looks rejuvenated, like Joel Matip, like Trent Alexander-Arnold is. They all look rejuvenated again. Mo Salah looks rejuvenated. He looks made up. He scored a pen yesterday. He celebrated that pen more yesterday than he did at the derby, opening goal in the derby. Do you know what I mean? Because he looks rejuvenated. So let's get behind him, man. We have a big chance here to win a couple of trophies, to steal a couple. We all would have took a League Cup and a Europa League win at the start of the season. So why not? Let's go for it.
Before we move in and probably talk about the game this Sunday, I kind of want to give a shout out to Joe Gomez here. Great performance, and 8.2. Obviously, take this rating with a grain of salt. This is for FUTMA, but kind of got me thinking yesterday, though, guys, because I'm the biggest Joey G critic here at American Scouser. I don't really trust him as much at a center back position, but this year he's been largely flawless playing that right back role. And with him going inverted, everyone was like, probably don't let him get the ball to his feet and distribute the ball. Obviously, he's no Trent, but he's actually been quite decent there. So maybe I'm kind of seeing him maybe solidifying that backup right back role to Trent. Yeah, because listen, he's got it all. He's got the pace, he's got physicality. Maybe, maybe his positioning could use some work here and there, but he's improved massively this year. So let me give this to you, Anand. Where do you see Joe Gomez here in the future? Because obviously, I don't think we're looking to sell him, right? No. And for center halves, we have a rejuvenated Matip. We have Kwanzaa, who just came out of nowhere. Kanate as well, even though he's kind of injury prone, he's still there. And of course, Big Verge. Obviously, we need another one, probably another one next year as insurance, maybe on Verge's side. But Gomez probably on that right back role, what do you think?
I think that's the fitting role where he will continue to grow and play for Liverpool. I don't see him. We will see him at the center back role when needed, but I think his priority or his number one role is going to be kind of that right back up to Trent, or that right back when Trent's moving up to the midfield. He'll stay there. And I like him there. That's where we first got introduced to him as a right back. Did well, we liked them, and then switched over to center back and then back to right back. And obviously injuries didn't help him. But I think Joe Gomez as a right back is great. Going forward, he's not as great as Trent, but defending, he does well. So I'll take him as a backup for Trent at the right back. And obviously, he'll take that position when Trent moves up to the midfield, because the more and more we watch Trent, the more and more he's floating up to the midfield. So it's eventually going to be a permanent thing.
Yeah, what about you, Kazi? You see Gomez probably there the next few years?
Yeah, mate. I mean, listen, I think people forget he's 26. It's just because he's been at Liverpool for 10 years or something. I think Brendan Rodgers signed him. He's and I don't like how he gets a lot of stick. And I'll tell you why. He got the injury around the same time Van Dijk did, but Van Dijk got loads of time to get his form back. Joe Gomez never. Did Joe Gomez get the time? Every time, we just judged him because he played 1 and 5. Joe Gomez just can't. Fucking hell, he hasn't come back the same player. But all right, for Van Dijk, though, he gets 12 months to get his fitness back and his level back. Joe Gomez never. But now we actually are finally starting to see his level. I think people forget, by the way, how good he was when we won the league. And we won the Champions League. I think he was actually starting, he got an injury, then Matip came in and he started the Champions League final. But I think he was it was Gomez and Van Dijk for a long time. People forget that as well. You know what I mean? I think he's brilliant. I really do. And he is that good option. But you need those type of players who can play multiple positions and do jobs for you. That's why Gakpo is such an important player, because you can do 3 roles for you, really. Gomez is the same. Jones is probably the same as well. Elliott do 2 or 3 roles, and Gomez Curtis Jones 2 or 3. You need those type of players. So super happy for him, mate. I really am super pleased. He's another one who took a lot of stick. But like the Kostas situation, took a lot of stick. And now starting to shut the critics club, including us, by the way. Because you've all given stick, you know what I'm saying? And he's starting to make us swallow shit, which is fair enough. So yeah, he's coming now. If Trent was injured for a month, touch wood he isn't, but if he is out for a month, then it wouldn't be, for me, a ginormous issue to put Joe Gomez there.
Well, speaking of players that can play multiple positions, I ran into this rumor while looking for news this morning, and I don't know if you guys put any weight into this or not.
Probably not.
Joining the race for Brazilian midfielder Douglas Luiz, another 8, Anand. We just seem to be skirting around this issue of needing another 6 outside Endo. So, what is the logic behind this? We already have enough 8s.
I'll give you the logic. 90-minute football is the source. That's that's my logic on that one. Not a source I would look at and say this is true, but also not a kind of player that would fit in any Jurgen Klopp system. So this is not something I would entertain. This is not something I would look at. Good player, just not for us. So I wouldn't even I wouldn't entertain it.
Same with you, Kazi?
Yes, mate. Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's a good footballer. I really do like him, but Liverpool won't sign Douglas Luiz, and I think the reason is I think he signed a new contract 12 months ago, or I think it was like maybe even 6 months ago he signed a new deal. So unless he's got like a Champions League buyout clause, where Liverpool might take a sniff of 50 million, you might take a sniff. But if you actually look at someone, for example, like Chelsea, they'll probably just sign him for 90 million and go from there. When you actually look around the league, you know what I mean. You actually, Chelsea, you'd actually have a look. Arsenal maybe, but yeah. Interesting makes it, but yeah, he will not sign for Liverpool, I don't think.
Absolutely. So I do as well, keeping to form. Gravenberch, what is that? How many zeros is that? My math ain't that good. How many zeros is that?
Appears to be 100 billion.
I don't even think that's a number.
Yeah, 100 times better than Jones. I'm the biggest Gravenberch stan right here at Saidu, but let's kind of ease off on Jones a little bit. Like he does his role, Gravenberch does his, but let me ask you boys here, in terms of the balance of the midfield, and this is me, the biggest Gravenberch stan here.
Yeah.
Is there a bit more balance having Jones next to maybe a Mako or a Sobo rather than maybe being because let's be real, those three midfielders, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravenberch, their best traits are going forward. And obviously the best club sides had that balance with a Hendo, Fabinho, maybe a Milner or a Keita. Did I just say Keita? But yeah. You guys get what I mean. So in terms of maybe the long-term option, because I did touch on this last on the Wednesday show, I do think Szoboszlai and Gravenberch have the highest ceiling of our midfielders, and I do think that Gravenberch should probably be permanently starting maybe 1 or 2 years from now. But right now, do you guys think Jones is probably the more sensible option on that left side if we're going with the traditional midfield of McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Jones? Let's start with you, Anand.
Well, the statement is those guys like to go forward, so would it be better to balance it with Jones? Jones loves to go forward.
He's kind of improved, though, hasn't he? In terms of
he has
mellowing down, right?
But and I'm not going to use the City game against him because that's a one-off. He's had a great season from preseason all the way till the City game. He's had a good season, and we've talked about it. We sat down here and said, you know what's funny, guys? If we just signed Jones for 100 million, we would be bragging about him. But because he's our academy player, nobody gives him credit. And we always say, if Jones was playing for another club, we would be all over him to try to sign him. But now he plays for us, so we're talking shit about him. So I got to give him credit. He's improved. I still think he still has that mentality of, I got to make a move before I get rid of the ball, or I got to do something unique before I make the pass. Until that goes away, I think we're better off going with Gravenberch.
What about
Until that mentality goes away. But has he improved, and is he one of our better midfielders? Absolutely.
I would start him every single game, Curtis Jones. I don't think, and that's why the manager does. Every time he's fit, he plays him. I feel like he's interesting to me because he divides opinion, because people think what he was when he was a kid, when he was 19, 20. He's not that player anymore. Barely loses the ball. He barely loses the football. Yeah, he had a bad game against City. He looked like a player who hasn't played since September. And he was a player who hasn't played since September.
Yeah.
Against the best team in the world.
And I still thought that was a bad call on Jurgen's end, because the kid hasn't played in a minute and he just threw him in there.
Yeah,
maybe.
But here's the thing: the way Jurgen sees it is, this is how I'm going to win the game.
Exactly.
This guy wins me the game. That's how he thought about it.
Yeah, and he was completely right to think like that, because I think apart from the Spurs game when he got sent off, I don't think Liverpool have lost a game when he started for like 30-goal games. It's an insane start. I don't think we've lost a game since like last January that Curtis Jones has started the game, because he trusts him that much. But yeah, it's an interesting how he divides opinions so much. I don't get it. I don't understand. I think he's going to become like that Gini Wijnaldum thing, where he just divides opinion with fans. When he's not there, you struggle and you kind of see what he does, kind of thing. And I think that's what's going to be with Curtis Jones. I'd have Jones over Gravenberch right now until Gravenberch shows me more. I feel like I still want to see a little bit more out of Gravenberch. I think that's fair as well. But again, I keep saying it, Liverpool are in 4 competitions. There's going to be minutes that you're going to get. in this Liverpool team, and it doesn't matter what position you play. Look at the goalkeeper now, for example. So you are going to get minutes in this team. Look at the left back. So as much as we can argue, shout and scream, the manager rates Jones higher than most because he starts him every single time he's fit. There's no, we'll give you 15 minutes here. No, you start. That's what he does. He's probably the only player he probably does that with, which shows you how highly the manager rates him.
The best possible thing I would say about Jones is like a few years ago when he starts, I'm just like, but now you're like, yeah, I can see why. Right, you can see the improvement. Yeah, you can see the improvement, and that's certainly a testament to him.
The maturity that Curtis Jones has gone through in the last 2 seasons, to be exact, is so awesome to see. You don't see academy players mature that much in a space of 24 months like he has. Different mentality, different style, different playing at it. Everything about him changed, and I give a lot of credit to that. And people don't, but Henderson, because he did say that they've worked together a lot, and they did say that he's had to come under his wing. But it's that extra touch for me that Jones likes to have that still slightly pisses me off. And I think that goes away with more minutes, with more playing in the system we have now, because now more than ever, we're passing faster. We're trying to move that ball up faster. We're doing everything significantly faster than we were the last few seasons because we had a slower midfield. I think that's going to elevate his game to a level we're going to start saying, wow, we're so lucky to have Curtis Jones. Versus, I don't know if he should be playing, but I don't know. That we'll see. Kid has a high ceiling.
Yeah, speaking of high ceiling, Salah to go into summer and we buy Mbappe. Whew, I mean, I've seen that loads.
Listen, no.
No.
And this is me, the guy that's like, hey, Salah has one more season and gotta go. I swallow that. I take that back. Darwin will still score more, but no, absolutely not. Mbappe in this team is nothing but look at me, I'm the shit. Drama, high wages and problems. That's a no for me. Listen, is he probably one of the best players in the world right now? Yeah, the top 3 best players in the world right now. You know who the other 2 are? Bellingham and Salah. And if anybody disagrees, you're not watching football. You don't get rid of Salah, the guy who's giving you all of this, and start a new project. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
In terms of an overall player as well, Salah probably has better in terms of feel passing than Mbappe is just a raw scorer, I feel, with a lot of pace. Like, this is not degrading him, right? This is comparing him to Mo Salah, and I feel like Mo Salah over the years has evolved into a more complete attacker than, let's say, Mbappe, who's very young, by the way, he could still get to that level.
And believe it or not, Mbappe's a better player than Salah, but not for us. Salah is the best player for us. We're not making that change, and
I actually disagree there, Anon. But then
I know it looks good on paper to buy Mbappe and all that, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I watch footy, right? I watch a lot of football. Kylian Mbappe doesn't play on the right hand side
at all.
Yeah.
Did we forget that?
Yeah, at all. Doesn't go near that.
Play Salah? No, he doesn't play that. He doesn't play that position. What the fuck are we talking about? He cuts in on the left hand side.
Yeah.
And smashes, and he always has that little finish when he looks like he's going to go opposite end, and he always puts it in the near post.
Always on the left, or always that false 9. Never ever goes near the right.
Yeah. Why? So what is this thing come from? By the way, this thing of Mo Salah might leave. I don't think Mo Salah does leave. I actually think he might sign the deal.
Contract.
I think he might get an extension.
Absolutely.
I think he fancies it. He looks rejuvenated. This comes back to the rejuvenation part. I think he looks and goes, I can squeeze another league title here or a Champions League out before I finish. And I think that's what he thinks. And I can break all these records in the Premier League and go down as, you know what I mean? Again, cement legacy. But I think the manager, I think we always forget as well, he has a very much a no dickhead policy. Mm-hmm. And he does that with players. That's why Mamadou Sakho was at the door and players like that. And he just comes in and goes, you're a dickhead. Balotelli, which, by the way, people forget Balotelli was still a part of the Liverpool squad when Jurgen Klopp came in, which to me seems insane because Balotelli seems 25 years ago. But he wasn't. But he has a thing of no dickheads. And Mbappe comes across as a dickhead. As much as I rate him and I love him as a footballer, I think he's a joke. He's a freak of nature as a footballer. I think he just comes across as a bit of a dick. And sometimes you don't want to upset the apple cart. Do you know what I mean?
That's kind of touched on, Firmino's book, which I ordered and is on the way, by the way. I don't know if you guys got a copy yet. I'm looking forward to reading that.
It's on my Christmas list.
Right. The professionalism that Salah shows in terms of maybe he doesn't get what he wants. Maybe he doesn't always get what he wants. He doesn't score. He doesn't agree with the decisions of the manager. He just goes and does his job, right? Whatever happens, happens. And I think that separates him a load from Mbappe, the professionalism that he shows. And you could see it. Like, he looks like he's 10 years younger in terms of his physicality and in terms of how he develops his game and everything. So it's just something that I think we're taking for granted with these Mbappe shouts. What a player we have here, and it doesn't always have to be, who's next.
The Mbappe saga will continue to go with Real Madrid. They'll do the same bullshit this summer. He'll go there, and this whole thing will go away, and I'll be so happy because I'm over it. And Salah will sign a new deal. All the talk of him going to Saudi, that's stupid. Whoever didn't go to Saudi this past off season has missed the bus because people want out, so nobody's going in. So we put that away. We give the guy another 1-year extension. I give him 2 if we can.
I'll give him a contract until he's 40.
Yeah, absolutely no reason why not. I would do the same with Verge, and I would do the same with Jurgen. So,
would you do the same with Matip?
I'd give him a year.
I would too.
Just one.
I would give him 1 year.
Too. Yeah.
I think it's harsh. I think he deserves a 2. I think if he deserves to dye his legs on our books, he can. Do you know what I mean? But I think I'd give him 2 more. I think I'd put him on to 2026. That's fair.
I can see kind of Kwanzaa just slowly getting to his place.
And I don't know if the club is actually looking to give Matip even 1, and that makes me sad.
Yeah. Unless he wants to just go back to there was a little thing in Germany and that kind of stuff. I don't know, but I mean, the Kwanzaa thing's different. I think, mate, John, we're seeing a lot of Kwanzaa now because the Europa League games. So Liverpool won't be in the Europa League this year. So what you do with Kwanzaa? That's a question that they have to have. Do you know what I mean? That's a conversation that they've got to have the club with Kwanzaa. Because they have big
do you see him possibly taking that 3rd slot, though, Kazi? Like, for example, Matip, we get him an extension, right? But then he kind of shows his age again. So that'll inevitably, assuming we don't get a CB, right? That kind of moves him up the pecking order behind Konate and
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe, but it'll probably still be Gomez. Like, 3rd. The manager still trusts Gomez, I think, over Kwanzaa for the centre-half role if it comes to a Premier League game and Premier League and Champions League games. I think he'll still go with Gomez, but yeah, it's interesting, mate. It is interesting. I don't want to fall into that Nat Phillips kind of role where he's just there or there, but he's just there for the sake of being there. I don't want to fall into that. I want him to get games because I really do think he's got a high ceiling. But again, we're seeing a lot of him now because we have got the Europa League games, and that's a benefit to Liverpool. That's why Ben Doak was getting minutes. He doesn't get minutes in the Champions League, does he? Do you know what I mean? Unless it's that group game, the last group game when you're at the top of the group and you just play anyone. He might get minutes then. But otherwise, I don't know, mate. I feel very happy with Kwanzaa, but I do worry for him for next year.
Same thing with you, Anna?
Yeah, absolutely. We see this one thing about us. We love to hype up the new kid until they get overloaded and get injured and they're done. Gomez is ahead of him. We will be signing a center back in the summer. I don't think we'll be putting all our hope and prayers and future on Kwanzaa. So if Matip stays, it'll be Van Dijk, Konate, Matip, Gomez, Kwanzaa. If Matip goes, it'll be Van Dijk, Konate, Gomez, maybe new guy, Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
So the kid goes on loan next season because, like Kazi said, he's not playing in the Champions League. And Kazi said it. He's not playing in the league. So the kid is good, and the kid has a high ceiling. He's going to be great, but we're too far ahead of ourselves. We're too far ahead of schedule.
I'd love him to go to Brighton on loan. I'd fucking love him to play centre-half at Brighton, for the year. Go and get on the ball. Go and, you know what I mean? I don't want him to go to... People say loan out to a Premier League club. I don't want to loan to Luton or something when you get 20% possession. I want him to get on the ball. He needs to go to the right team on loan. That's the difference. So anyone goes, just loan him to a bottom 10 Premier League team. No. I'd rather loan him to Burnley than Luton. Because at least they get on the ball and try and play a bit of football. I know they get battered every week, but that's different. But I'd love him to go to Brighton. That kind of team. Do you know what I mean? Gets on the ball. Fulham's a really good one. Marco Silva. Taking him on loan for a year and go and see what you can do with him. It'd be brilliant for him.
Well, speaking of Fulham, guys, I feel like to close this out, we have a pretty good segue here. Looking ahead to Sunday. It's Sunday, right? The game's on Sunday.
Yes.
I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's on Sunday against Fulham. Let's get some quick lineup predictions, starting with you, Kazi. Defense, midfield, attack. Who are you going for?
Kostas, Van Dijk, Matip, Trent, McAllister. This is what the manager will do, not me. McAllister, Szoboszlai, Jones, Salah, Diaz, Nunes.
Not Gakpo?
The manager will do Nunes.
Yeah.
I
think so too.
To be honest though, but I'd rather them do Gakpo now and do Nunes on Wednesday. I'd love him to go.
That's what I think. That's why I said not. Yeah. I think Gakpo goes. I think again, just what I think, not a fact. I think Gakpo goes on Sunday at Fulham, and Nunes goes on Wednesday.
I think it's the reverse. Actually, I think it's the.
I'd love him to do that.
I'd love him to do that, by the way. Gakpo now, Nunes Wednesday. I'd love him to go for that. But I just don't think the manager will. I just think he'll just leave Nunes in until Nunes does something Nunes-y.
What about you, Anand?
Which has cost us points. But yeah, go on.
I've got the exact team, except I got Gakpo instead of Nunes. Not what I want. That's what I think.
This
Do I want
stream-
Nunes? You're crazy. Yes,
Bro, it's what we think the manager will do.
Yeah.
What
right.
I would do, what Darwin would do is have a team of Darwin Nunes playing all positions. But
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's what Nana would do.
By the way, I almost forgot. Let me just share something here that I felt like
I want
almost
Endo to start. Why is
Right.
that? He's just not going to do it. I'm only saying what I think Jurgen would do, like Kazi said.
Agreed.
Man, I want Endo in there, and I want Nunes in there.
Yeah, before I forget, guys. So
I guess
Klopp
this is
provided an
Thiago
update.
here.
Yeah, provided an update on Thiago over here. So nothing's changed. He needs time. We see him every day. Can't believe he put that in towards the end, obviously, to make things better. Still a fantastic guy. So, Anand, I just wanted to ask you here. Obviously, you've got a 1-to-1 kind of insider pass there. Like, what's Thiago feeling right now? Is he still great, like mentally?
Fantastic guy. Feels good. Everything's okay. He'll be back in January, and everything's okay. He's rehabbing that hip, and because of that damn turn that he does every time, got his hip all jacked up. But he'll be okay. He'll be back in January, and that's when we're going to cement our place on top of the table. We'll win the Europa League.
Yeah.
Let me just
everything.
say,
Go on.
Yeah, sorry,
I want
go
to
back,
mention
go.
Thiago though, John, because it's interesting. It's that January's important because Endo leaves. So he can play the 6. Thiago can do the 6. He was number 6 in the Bayern Munich team when he won the Champions League, and he was the best player on the pitch.
Yep.
So he can play the 6. And he's played the 6 well for Liverpool. So he's very important now. He is back in January, actually, because it does give that manager that option to go with the Thiago, McAllister, Szoboszlai. Do you know what I'm saying? It does give him that option. So, you know what I mean? It's important.
I don't know if that'll be allowed on TV because that
Yeah.
is pure adult stuff.
Streamed on XXX, baby.
Yeah,
That's what he does.
yeah.
That's
Oh
something
my
we have
God.
to
That's what
see.
you can test that.
That's something we have to see at least once in our lives, and I hope we see it at least once this year. Because imagine Szoboszlai making a run, Thiago pinning that ball in, pinging it to the other side. That's just
And then
exactly.
Szoboszlai passes it to Darwin Nunes 5 yards out and he blaze it into the cop. Yeah.
Right.
That was not the finish I was looking for. You were doing so well.
All right, boys, let's wrap this up. Quick score predictions, Kazi.
4-0 Liverpool, same again. I don't think there'll be any change. Same kind of game. Liverpool have got the bit between the teeth now. Liverpool are starting to get moving. There's no more international breaks. There's no more excuses. We are on a road till February to go and win the League Cup and be top of the league by January.
Yeah, you're on a mini streak here, though, Kazi. You said 4-0 yesterday. It came through. So hopefully, it'll be 2 in a row. Anand, what about you?
We're going to go a little reckless. I'll go 3-0. And I think, 3-0. The clean sheet matters to me more than anything for Kelleher. I want him to get that clean sheet in the league. So hopefully 3-0. Gakpo bags 1. Salah bags 1. And here's one out of pocket. Everybody's waiting for it.
Yeah. Come on.
Say it. Go on.
Szoboszlai gets the goal and he gets people to get off his back.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely, that's not a prediction, that's a hope, because he's got slated so much in the last couple of weeks over here that I'm like, what is going on? Well, so let's get Szoboszlai a goal. Yeah, then Thiago gets injured again. Yeah.
I'm going with the Timucin special at 3-1, as Sparky says. Gordo says 3-0 as well. Like, I think we get done on a janky counterattack, but hey, a win is a win. I feel like the power of Anfield is always going to come through. And I didn't share it because we didn't have much time, but I believe it was Gordo who said it's the first time that a team won 10 consecutive home games by 2 goals, which is insane.
Jesus.
Like, I know some of that is in the Europa League, but I mean, after that Leeds loss, we've kind of regained our Anfield mystique.
Just checking our next 2 home games. Fulham at home, United at home. Thank you very much.
Oh, nah. This is going to be good.
Yeah. Come on now.
This is going to be good.
Well, hopefully, guys, we're still talking about that streak a few weeks in. But as always, Kazi, Anand, really appreciate you guys going in and sharing this Friday with me without Timucin. But if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe, our socials, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that. It really helps us a lot. And visit our sponsor as well, Reckless Coffee, really good. Like, I'm having one right now. It's been a slow Friday for me. I don't know about you guys, but the Reckless Coffee's really picked me up today. So, check those guys out. But, tune in Sunday morning few minutes after the lineups announced for the pre-match show. But otherwise, Kazi, Anand, thanks again. And thanks for everyone who's watching. We'll see you again soon. Take care,
Have a
guys.
good
guys.
weekend. Take care.
See you guys.
Thank you.